Okay. Ready when you are.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I am your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Aaron.
and we're live on a Sunday, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Oh man, Game of Thrones Sunday already. That week passed by fast.
It did, didn't it?
Okay, you love it. Louisiana fast. Man, before we even get started, I guess I had a couple things. They're not really random thoughts, but I guess I don't know what other segment to really put them in.
Okay, that's fine.
But one, I actually let me tell you this song.
Random thoughts.
So number one, I ordered some products from my girl Kadian, Born Beautiful Naturals. And number one feeling on Twitter. And so I had ordered some stuff, and I'm I know that she's a fan of the show, but she just has great products, and so I was out. I've been using them, so I ran out. So I was just trying to re-up. I was like, oh man, I'm almost done with my stuff. Let me go ahead and get my stuff here, and so she ended up she sent me like a DM or something. I was like, hey, it'll be a little bit of a delay because I'm gonna put some extra stuff in there for you. And I was thinking like, oh, she gonna put 2 sprays. Thank you, And
we didn't ask for this.
The package got held up in customs for some reason.
You know how customs be. Customs be like, what is this?
Probably racism. They was like, we can't have black people hair looking good. And so the box, when it got here, I wasn't completely out of product. So I was like, oh, I'll wait a minute before I open it or whatever. But it was a bigger box than I expected. And I just sat it over there and didn't even really think about it much because, I was just like, yeah, I ordered it. Maybe she put a keychain in there or something.
Right.
Oh my God. I opened that shit today. It was so much shit in there. Like, how is she in business? It doesn't make any business sense for her to have done this.
So that's what's in there on the counter.
All that shit was in that box. I just thought like, oh yeah, you gotta package it, you gotta do, whatever.
Right. Because it's coming from outside of the States.
It was I actually made a reel on, I'm not great with the Instagrams, but I use my little bit of influence on my Instagram to make a reel with the actual products, with kind of like unboxing it. I might have to turn the music down. Okay, cool. Naturals. Kadian is a fan of the show, and I ordered some products because she tried to keep the beard looking. I try to keep it looking something nice, something refreshed, something a little moisturizer or whatnot. And she hooked us up. I ordered some products off of her store, and she stopped and added a bunch of shit. Y'all, look at this haul. Born Beautiful Naturals. Y'all need to support. And that's keychain. She put 2 mugs in there. Support Black creators and makers. The other side says like, minding my Black owned business. She gave me a candle because I like candles.
Yes, candles.
It was so. And of course the hair products.
Yes, and she put gave you that sugar scrub. That sugar scrub is everything. I love that sugar scrub.
Hair too bomb, curl please. Not today detangling. I mean, not free detangling. Like, look at all this shit, y'all. Y'all see all that? Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, and the keychain is a bottle opener too. So if you want to get drunk, you can get drunk with it. Like, it was just very sweet of her.
Right.
And she also had this note in there. Cause like that was the other thing when she had hit me up. She hit me up after the package got here and she was like, oh, did you get it? And I was like, yeah, but I hadn't opened it yet. So I was just like, oh yeah, I got it, thank you. Like, to open that shit up, I was like, and she had a note. I sent her some more DMs today, like, oh my God, you didn't say all this shit was
right,
here.
Because I seen it and I know feedback. I was like, are you gonna open that? You was like, that's personal. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I had I just thought, oh, I bought that. That was just for me,
Right.
you know. But she put this note: Dear Ron and Karen, thanks for your order. I hope you're both well. I have put a couple of goodies in that I had for you. I thought I might as well send now instead of September. I include some hair and skincare samples you can give to loved ones. Girl, dang it.
I'm about to say they ain't getting none of that.
Them my samples.
Right. If anything, I order them some, but they ain't getting them samples.
You know what they say about loved ones? You need to love yourself first. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, you do.
And I love myself most of all, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm, loving them samples too. Rod, I know you like burning candles, so I included our 5-year anniversary candle, which I will. The mugs are from a Black-owned marketplace for Black British businesses. Love, Katie, and thank you. Born Beautiful Naturals is the name of the business. I tagged them on if you follow me on Instagram, Rod TBGWT, you can see it right there.
And she ships all over.
Yeah, she ships all over. It got here surprisingly fast. That's what her taking time to add, like a day off to add some more stuff. And she
and you don't have to worry about it's packaged up really well. You don't have to worry about anything being damaged or anything.
Yeah, it was like that. It was so professionally done and got here so fast. And yeah, like if you're on my Instagram, I tagged them to the reel. And yeah, thank you, Katie. And I know you listen. That was wow. Way to keep a secret and hold a surprise in. You did a good job, because I just opened the box like, oh yeah, I'm out of hair tube balm. Oh shit! Like it was awesome. So that was fun.
Thank you very much, sweetie.
All right, now we can get. And I know what I wanted to ask. I was listening to a podcast. I think it was like on Dan Levitar's network. What's the best dipping sauce from a fast food establishment? Like, what's your number one? If you had to pick. Like, it was a lot of. I asked this on Twitter, and there's a lot of different answers. Some people cheated and threw stuff in there that wasn't fast food, in my opinion. It's like, oh, the Outback onion ring dipping sauce. It's like, oh, suck my dick. That's not the same. I guess you're doing so well that Outback is your fast food, but I'm just saying. Fast food, like with a drive-through restaurant. What's the best dipping sauce? I already went on record with mine as hot mustard from McDonald's.
And I'll just say I think that one is my favorite too, just for the fact that you literally cannot get that anywhere else but McDonald's. You can't buy it over the counter. No, nobody can home make it. Like, it's going to be off. It's almost like they Sprite. How I think that they put electrolytes or something special in that Sprite. Because you can go open up the Sprite from the bottle, the Sprite from the can. You can go other places and do the Sprite out the fountain machine. But that Sprite ain't gonna hit your nose the same.
Okay, well, dipping sauce though.
Hot mustard.
Hot mustard too?
Yes.
Okay, so you are going hot mustard. Okay.
Yes, because like I said, that's one sauce that I've never seen duplicated anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you didn't go Polynesian.
That's a personal favorite too.
You didn't. Sweet Heat obviously is on the Mount Rushmore for me, from Popeyes.
That's good.
A lot of people said Black and Ranch from Popeyes. Although this is a hot take, y'all. Don't cancel me, but I thought the Black and Ranch was a little overrated. Thought it was a little overrated when I had it. It's not terrible, it's not bad. It definitely does. It's good, probably better than the ranch, but wouldn't be in my top 4.
Yeah. Like I said, if I had a top 4 or 5, and you know me, I love me a good honey mustard.
You do.
Whenever we go out to the restaurant,
she's the person that orders the honey mustard dressing.
Yes,
I've never seen anyone waste a salad with honey mustard dressing before.
They have it on the menu
Karen
for
do it
me.
every time. She do it every time.
I'm the one to keep them niggas in business. I be like, I want it.
Don't ever have to worry about sharing that salad.
Nope. I love me some honey mustard in a goddamn salad yourself.
You'll put some barbecue sauce on the salad next.
I don't know why I've been like that since I've been a kid. It's nothing like the honey mustard.
People do like it though. I mean,
honey Dijon mustard.
People order it. People do order it. It's a lot of
like I said, it's me and only me. I'm keeping them bitches in business. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A sauces. Yeah, Chick-fil-A sauce underrated. You know what though? All the sauces that are named after the place are underrated. That's a hot take that I stand by. Zaxby sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce, Bojangles sauce. If it's just named after the place, that sauce is slept on.
Yeah.
And it's all
Bojangles sauce is surprisingly really, really good.
And they all just kind of taste like a weird spicy mustard type of blend, like some sweet, spicy mustard stuff. But if it's named after the motherfucking plate, the fast food place, then it's off the hook.
Yeah, it was so funny. I always throw them off with the honey mustard. They be looking, I guess they like Roger. Like, you want honey mustard? I be like, yes, honey mustard, please.
Well, it's just that you like it on a salad. I think if you say honey mustard with like chicken fingers, nobody's gonna say anything.
Oh, okay.
But if you say honey mustard for a salad, most people are gonna be like, it's like saying barbecue sauce. And I'm not, I get that there's some people out there like, well, ranch and Caesar and stuff. Yeah, I know what y'all saying, but
more people think of it as a dipping sauce and less of a salad. But it is outstanding on the salad to me.
Yeah, but it's just and it's sweet,
Yeah,
so
that's why I love it. Yeah,
it's like putting sugar on a salad.
Yeah. I know it defeats the purpose of I know some nutritionists. We got some smarty ass niggas out there. Some nutritionists is like, well, Karen, you're basically throwing 5 tablespoons of sugar on your salad. I know that shit is delicious.
Yep. So, and the reason I was thinking about these dipping sauces is because subliminal advertising, or I guess not even subliminal, just overt advertising, it got me yesterday. I wasn't able to get the craving, and maybe I'll do it tonight, but I kept seeing this commercial for Zaxby's, and it kept showing all these damn dipping sauces on these chicken strips, and I just wanted some chicken strips so fucking bad yesterday.
That's what it's designed to do.
I didn't do it. When I got some weird hybrid Cuban Asian those fusion restaurants, we went and got some of that food, which I did not like that much.
Oh, okay, nigga. I thought it was just me. I was like, I hate to be like, this some shit some white people hyped up. This is not good.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
No, that shit was not seasoned well. It was terrible.
It was just like lo mein with hot dogs in it and shit. It didn't make no sense.
It did, and I was like, this is not real Cuban food. The fuck is this?
But so I wasn't a fan of that, and anyway, it doubly made me mad because now I'm full of food I didn't really like.
Right.
That I'm trying to trick my brain into, and I didn't get no chicken fingers. So I was just like,
and,
son of a bitch.
And what was so funny about that place was motherfucking jumping. I was like, this place is jumping. I was like, I hope this, because me and Roger will branch out. But we got that home. Our first few bites was like, okay. I kept eating it, and I was finally like, no, shit ain't good.
I threw it in the trash.
I was like, this is terrible.
Like, normally I try to keep the leftovers and warm them up again. I was like,
I knew I wouldn't go eat that bullshit.
Well, you don't eat leftovers. You too bougie. But for me, I do. I grew up in a home where you ate leftovers because you don't waste food. But I tried it, and
I ate leftover pizza.
I ate some, and I just said, I know I'm not gonna warm this back up. All right, now we can get to the regular show. Y'all didn't need to hear any of that, but here you go.
Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dumbest expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit, I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no Drew holiday for you and your man. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus, fuck that COVID-19. It's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, So fuck that COVID-19. It's unseen. It's creeping in the air for you to breathe. Yeah.
Lots of coronavirus news. Let's get to it. We already talked about the long COVID keeping 4 million people out of work. And this new data. Paxlovid, Pfizer's COVID pill, showed no measurable benefits in adults 40 to 65.
Oh,
yeah. So older people, it did help, over 65 and stuff, but there was really no way to tell the difference in people that were between 40 and 65 who got COVID, got Paxlovid to try to like make it, easier. But they said there's really no way to tell.
It's something about that age, or
I don't know. It's from Israel, which is they were the people that like got so much of their population vaccinated, so they were really able to study this stuff.
Okay, and more details.
Yeah, and so they said 65 and older people had their hospitalizations reduced by roughly 75%.
Goddamn.
When given the Paxlovid shortly after the infection, so it definitely helps 65 and older.
I guess it's something about the immune system or something. Got to be.
Yeah, but people through the ages 40 and 65 saw no measurable benefit according to the analysis of the medical records. The study has limitations due to its design, which compiled data from a large Israeli health system rather than enrolling patients in a randomized study with a control group, the gold standard for medical research. So it's not the official,
But they were saying based off our numbers, this is what we found. And, it is one of those things, particularly if you're in that age group. And, I'm pretty sure this is going to be peer-to-peer reviewed and all that stuff. Like if it's like an official, stuff. And that is actually great for that age range, and eventually trust the way science and technology and shit move. Trust somebody is working to get that shit where they was like, oh, no, this is too many people that can't get it, so we got to modify this for them too.
Now, stop me if you heard this, but the girls are fighting.
Her wig is coming off. Her wig's coming off.
Shit.
That's right. Moderna is suing Pfizer and BioNTech, saying they still in the secret sauce. It was all up in the Kool-Aid and didn't bring a straw.
No shit.
They mad about that. They said patent infringement, even though somehow I want to say Pfizer came out with their stuff before Moderna.
Right. Wouldn't they like the first people to come out with the shit?
Yeah, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna work. Pfizer said the lawsuit was unexpected. Somebody was like, see, this is the problem with capitalism. I saw this woke take. This is the problem with capitalism. The medicine should just be given away free. Don't worry about the patent. And I said, you know what? I feel you. In a perfect world, I love that too. And everybody be greatly motivated. Let's talk about this for a second though. Why do you think the capitalist vaccines came out the fastest and worked the best?
Right.
I mean, this was just the one. I agree, capitalism seems very terrible and people are horrible. I don't know that the vaccines is the one to make the stand on. The people with the economies that don't do this, they shit was not as good as our shit. Yeah, the vaccines that we got was highly effective.
Yeah. If they did came out, the percentages were lower and things like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they were highly effective, the most effective vaccines of all time, and the fastest produced of all time.
They pumping money behind that shit, and they do patent because they was like, bitch, we didn't invest billions of dollars in this shit just for people to be like, we gonna make a alternative version of it. They was like, no, we want our money back.
These other countries didn't do that. Now you might want the argument to me wouldn't be anyway. I just thought that was a weird argument. It's like, look at these companies suing each other. I don't care that they're suing each other. That has nothing to do with me. Well, I'm glad that capitalism on steroids was the shit that got the vaccines in there and saved a whole lot of people's lives more than they would have. And for all the ills of capitalism that we talk about every fucking day,
one good thing
this is the one of the few times where you're like, yeah, in this case, yeah,
and this was an arms race. They was like, whoever the first person to get it, whoever the first person to cross this line, You basically gonna make billions of dollars. So
they all ended up making all that money, but the point being, like, wouldn't have got them dope ass vaccines if it wouldn't have been for fucking capitalism in this case. Like the places where it's just like, listen, you go to college for free and everyone makes $40,000 a year, and there's no difference between this kind of, like, motherfuckers wasn't getting it done like us. I mean, point blank. I don't really see two ways to look at that one.
Plus and minuses of capitalism, but one thing about capitalism, they like
in this one case,
right?
That's all I'm saying. I'm not like arguing. It's like, you know, it's just, this is the one time where it's like, I just thought that argument was like a bad take. I was like, what? It's like, see, Campbell, you should give it away for free. That's what they did with penicillin or some shit. I'm like, I feel you on that. I really do. This shit was a bigger they discovered penicillin by accident. This shit was a Herculean effort. You know what I mean? It will
change how medicine is produced moving forward.
Yeah, like this shit ain't coming cheap, you know. Anyway, first to the USA Today, government website to suspend orders for free COVID tests due to limited supply. Running out of COVID tests, and we didn't get past that funding. So the government decided ain't gonna be no more COVID tests unless you buy them. So the free ones is gone. Now we got some stocked up, but I'm pretty sure the expiration date probably passes this month or has passed. But listen, I'm gonna keep them around like a can. Like
I'm gonna hold that shit like black folks do spices. You know, black folks don't think spices have expiration date, and they be using the same shit from 5 years ago. Like it's still sprinkle.
California is working while sick with COVID-19, fooled by mild symptoms. Basically, employees have been coming to work thinking they don't have COVID because the symptoms are mild, but it turns out they do have it, and they can spread it even though they don't show symptoms until 4 or 5 days after they don't test positive until 4 or 5 days after they had their symptoms. So it's like, oh, I'm sniffling, my throat is hurt, maybe I'm coughing or sneezing, but I took a test and it didn't seem like I'm positive for COVID. And what people are saying is like, no, stay home anyway.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen because everybody in the world has said fuck it. And so this is why we was having that conversation. Like yesterday, I was like, I'm 8 hours in the room with niggas like that. I'm good, bitch.
While case counts are down markedly from the heights of the latest wave, the risk of exposure remains high. Almost every California county has a high rate of coronavirus transmission, defined as having 100 or more cases a week for every 100,000 residents. When case rates are at this level, it's still recommended to layer in precautions that we have all become familiar with, mask indoors, stay home, get tested when you're sick, make good use of the outdoors, maximize the ventilation indoors, get tested before gathering where people of vulnerable health may be present in order to protect them.
That's great. I'm glad that people are still putting a message out there, but when you have the vast majority of people that says, fuck you in your rules, I don't know what to tell everybody.
Okay.
They basically say everybody on their own, and this is the result of everybody being
I don't want Health Officer Dr. Muntu Davis saying that at the Los Angeles County. So I'm gonna listen to him on this one. And I'm still following these guidelines. I think a lot of people still are. Just not everybody. And the truth of the matter is everybody's not scared anymore. And when people were scared, they were almost overcompensating. They were, washing their groceries and shit. And now that they're, and part of that is because of the vaccine and the milder versions of COVID, even though they're more infectious, people are not as scared as they were. They're willing to take that chance. And that was something that's happening everywhere. And we're just going to have to deal with it.
Agreed. And then, like I said, this is just my irritational bias. So that's just me.
I know. I get it. I think a lot of people are irritated. I'm irritated. But I don't know that I'm just trying to move past that. I don't want to,
I know,
because it's like, what message am I even going to send? Just okay, I'm irritated. So are the people that's not masking. Everybody fucking mad. It's a pandemic. No one asked for it. Nobody wanted it. And and honestly, no society has has aced it. Like everybody's had deaths, everybody's had the fucking backlash crowd of assholes, everybody's dealt with the fatigue. It's bad. And every time we do this segment, I feel like we have to go through this part over and over again. So I just passing the news on.
I know you're just doing your job, sir, and I'm not irritated with the messenger. I'm not even mad at the people for doing their job. These niggas went to school, got all kind of degrees with all types of dot letters behind them. They know what the fuck they talking about. I understand.
New Mexico Supreme Court dismisses inmates' COVID lawsuit. So it was basically hoping to get. It was saying that COVID-19 response from the prison system in Arizona violated the inmates' constitutional rights, and they want them to reduce the prison population, let people out. And the lawsuit also sought to require the state to safeguard the health of inmates, which that is so crazy that's not already a thing. Like
no, because the biggest reason is like that is because the populace, even black people, most Americans, unless you have somebody that is in the system or been impacted by it or something like that, you're like, fuck it, go to jail and I don't give a fuck what happens to you. Nobody cares about people being inhumane. Nobody cares about how they're treated, assaulted. Nobody cares about that. People just want you out of society, and they don't think it's a human being behind that. They have family members and friends and loved ones that care about them regardless of the crime. But we're such a crime and punishment country that we're like, fuck it, just lock them up forever and throw away the key and fuck them. And this is the end result. Nobody cares.
I'm still surprised. Not surprised that people are being mistreated. I'm surprised there's nothing in the law or the books already. Like, you just can't. People have their civil rights. People have their constitutional rights, even as inmates. Like, and in this case, like, they had rules for social distancing in the New Mexico jails. They decided these rules themselves, not the inmates, not the people that were incarcerated, and they just didn't enforce their own rules. They didn't enforce mandates for social distancing, heightened hygiene practices, and quarantine measures. The complaint suggested the prison conditions have become so intolerable as to constitute cruel and unusual punishment. And the Supreme Court agreed with the lower court that none of the inmates named in the lawsuit have filed grievances with the corrections department over the conditions, and therefore did not exhaust administrative remedies before going to court. Like because they didn't put in a formal grievance, the corrections department people just didn't know. They're in prison. The fuck? Well, it's not that they're in prison. They can submit a grievance through like a lawyer, the same way they submitted this lawsuit.
Okay.
But it's just the fact that the corrections department is the people who run the prison.
Right.
Every day they walk through there and know what they not doing.
Yes. And for some of it could be intimidating too. You know, all jokes aside, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's like, you're the people that's over me. If I start filing this report, I was something I got to worry about getting my ass whooped, and you not doing it, you're not pushing the paperwork because it makes you look bad.
The court also directed one of its rules committees to submit recommendations for rules and criminal procedure to govern class actions by inmates bringing certain petitions to challenge the conditions of their confinement. That's because habeas corpus petitions currently are not governed by the procedural rule for class actions in civil cases.
Yeah, and the thing about it that's so fucked up, particularly here in America, about our jail system is that a lot of times, you know, locking niggas up, you know, a lot of that is based off of slavery. So when you get in these systems, a lot of people feel like once you're arrested, oh well, and all your rights are taken away. That's why they take away the right to vote and all this other shit, because as far as they're concerned, you're not a citizen anymore. And so the system is not designed to rehabilitate you, help you, get you back on your feet. Because people make mistakes all of the time. The system is not designed for that. It was never designed for that. The part of the crime bill, when a lot of black people pushed the crime bill, that was what people were looking for. That's what racism swooped in and said, oh, we locking niggas up. Fuck all that other rehabilitation. No, we're not doing none of that shit. And so it was like a bait and switch.
I disagree a little bit on the crime bill thing, but because what book was I reading? I read this book about it, and the thing that I think people have tried to act like is that it was a bait and switch, but it was there were some people that felt that way, but the vast majority of black people was like, get these criminals out of our neighborhoods and into prison.
Oh yeah.
And not in the good way. Not in the I
Okay.
think they're gonna be, these are drug addicts and we all need to be sensitive. These are our family members. It was very much
Lock them up.
lock these motherfucking criminals up.
Right.
And there was a lot of anger and a lot of people. It's a very deep conversation. I won't go into all of it here, but I've read excerpts from the book on here.
Yeah, and I could see that, and a lot of it is, hey, we want policing. This is why you never get black people to say no policing. It was like, we want policing, and we want to be treated just like the white folks. And,
they just want policing that works,
right? And the thing is, we just want them out of here, quote unquote, out of here, out of sight, out of mind, and that goes back into that Americanism. As far we can get swept up in it too, even though generations of people were lost their lives and their loved ones and their family members because of it. But that's an American thing.
Yeah, like I said, it's just I just remember reading that book and being like, oh yeah, and I remember growing up at that time and. It wasn't like even our own people looked at crackheads with kindness and empathy. It was a lot of like, get this nuisance out of my neighborhood. They're the reason that things are bad. They're the reason the police are here. They're the reason that people are killing each other. It took a long time before people really saw black people that were addicted to drugs, heroin as well, as human beings, including other black people, sadly.
Right.
You really fucking hate to see it, but I think it's called Locking Up Our Own.
Yeah, because
Locking Up Our Own, Crime and Punishment in Black America by James Foreman Jr.
Yeah, because we're not above it.
Yeah. The U.S. suspends Chinese airline flights in COVID-19 dispute. U.S. government is suspending 26 flights by Chinese airlines from the United States to China in a dispute over antivirus controls after Beijing suspended flights by American carriers. The Department of Transportation on Thursday complained that Beijing violated an air travel agreement and treated airlines unfairly under a system that requires them to suspend flights if passengers test positive for COVID-19. U.S. regulators suspended 7 flights by Air China from New York City and a total of 19 flights from Los Angeles by Air China, China Eastern and China Southern Airlines, and a couple other ones.
This is what they agreed upon, right?
Right.
Okay.
It said that was equal to the number of flights United Airlines, American Airlines, and Delta Airlines were required to cancel under Beijing's circuit breaker system. The ruling Communist Party's zero COVID strategy aims to keep the virus out of China, while other governments are shifting to living with the disease. That has kept case numbers low, but disrupted travel, manufacturing, and trade. Beijing is easing travel curves, but most foreign visitors still are barred from China. So they still not playing over there.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, like you said, no country has done it perfectly. Even the countries that do the shutdown, even the countries that mandate the stuff, because COVID is just like, bitch, I'm here and there's nothing you can do about it.
And North Korea and China is definitely one of those ones that people look to, like, some people look at wistfully, like, man, I wish we could do like China. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's cool if you kind of, loosey goosey on your civil rights whole thing. Like, if we've read those stories, it's just like, yeah, they shut down this whole thing and everybody had to go in the house, and if you was caught in this neighborhood when the shutdown, you just stay in there till they decide you can come back out. Like, yeah,
somebody tested positive and people were running out the door because they was like, if we shut these doors, you in here, you trapped in here for a fucking week. They're like, what?
Yeah, everybody ain't built for that, and I don't blame them.
Right.
North Korea says fever cases were the flu, not COVID-19, but it's North Korea, so
who knows?
Rhode Island mayor proposes $10 million reparation plan. He's gonna take the $10 million in federal coronavirus pandemic aid, and they want to spend it on financial literacy, home ownership, workforce training, small business development, and other programs recently recommended by the city's reparations committee, which is gonna help Black people.
Oh yeah,
the Democrat.
Yeah, I said that's good, but they're gonna fight that shit.
They also call for using $250,000 of federal money to launch a legal defense fund for residents facing eviction.
Let's go.
$400,000 dedicated to directly supporting Black and Native American residents displaced and negatively impacted by urban renewal, and $500,000 to expand the guaranteed income program for low-income residents that launched last summer, among other initiatives. The Democratic mayor also signed an executive order to formally apologize on behalf of Rhode Island's capital city for its role in slavery, urban renewal, and other racist and discriminatory practices. The spending proposal now goes to the city council for approval.
Well, goddamn. About that business.
You love to see it.
I hope it go. Like I said, I hope it goes through, and the white people be like, okay.
Here's well, fuck them white people if they, I hope it goes through. But if they mad, they mad. But this is funny. It's a tale of two cities, right? Because I'm about to go to this next article. Remember, these are coronavirus funds. Remember, Georgia targets $100 million from the federal COVID-19 money they got to bolster policing. Governor Brian Kemp announced. And it matters who you vote for.
God, I hope Stacey Abrams win.
Right? It matters who you vote for, right? It's just...
Yes, that motherfucker stole that goddamn election from her.
Extra money in the budget in one place with Democrats, and it's reparations. Extra money in the budget, and this motherfucker's like, give it to the cops. We need to just show up. We just got to get these police some more money. That's what I always find funny when people talk about, these Democrats don't get behind defund the police, blah, blah, blah. And it's always like, yeah, but Republicans still fund these niggas more. And like give the money directly to like just reduce crime any way, any means. And the 18 theme starts playing and they start putting together fucking 8 Humvees and shit.
And the thing is, because they don't actually talk to people, they don't actually have programs that actually, talk about like how do we reach the communities, how we talk. The community is not involved at all. They like just go out there and get some numbers, bitches.
Crazy.
Right.
All right, let's get into some other news. See, it's been a couple days, so why don't we do some LGBTQ news? Why can't I? Here we go.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news. I try to take us down, but we still around. We lit. I try to still shine, but we on the ride. We lit. And we can't do what we thought to do. We lit. Like LGBTQ news.
All right. Mondaire Jones, one of the first Black and gay members of Congress, loses his primary. U.S. representative just lost his primary. The guy outvoted. He's one of the country's first openly gay Black members of Congress. He was defeated in a 12-person contest by Levi Strauss, heir to the and former Trump impeachment lawyer Daniel Goldman. So he lost to a former Trump impeachment lawyer. On which side, though?
Which side?
That matters.
Yes, it
was
does.
He defending Trump, or
was he on the other side?
Jones, who was endorsed by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Cory Booker, Mondaire Jones, the Black openly gay man, he came in third in a crowded primary. A lot of people think he lost because Representative Sean Patrick Maloney, the chair of the Democratic Congress Congressional Campaign Committee, Maloney ran against a sitting Democrat, and he's a white man, and he tried to unseat one of the 2 Black and gay members of Congress, and of course this led to neither one of them getting it.
You splitting the vote. Yes.
So Jones said, you know what? I mean, this would have led to neither one of them getting it possibly. So Jones said, you know what? I'm not going to run against you. I'm going to move to this new district, the 10th district. And Goldman is expected to win the seat next November, even though, Jones moved to this other district and lost. Ahead of Tuesday's primary, Jones told the Grill that to lose me in the House would be a blow to our democracy and the fight to protect fundamental rights. I've been a leading progressive member of Congress who has brought the rest of the Democratic caucus with him on issues like Supreme Court expansion, voting rights, and democracy reforms. I mean, and he was endorsed by Pelosi. I don't know, man. So yeah, him and Richie Torres were the nation's first out gay black members of Congress in 2021. January 2021 was the first time. Wow.
Always the first, ain't it?
Yeah. So it's it's sad. I mean, you obviously some people are gonna end up losing. I mean, that's what representation is. You're not gonna win your seat every time or win every office, but damn, that was quick, What else we got here? A Utah high school dug into a student athlete's record to check if she was transgender after she clearly outclassed her opponents in a sports competition. Yeah, this is why I think so much of the stuff about laws against especially transgender girls, because it seems like no one's concerned about boys. It just seems so weird because a lot of this is we're just measuring by how good you are or what we decide is too good, and then we want to look in your pants. You know what I mean? There doesn't really it seem like vibes and suspicions. Like that, yeah, right. It doesn't seem like there's no science to this.
And things that are natural, like if you naturally have high hormones, a natural have as a female presenting body, everything about you is female, but you naturally have high testosterone. All of a sudden, they want to cap the levels out and say something's wrong with you. So basically, you're targeting people, and a lot of times, a lot of this shit is based in racism. Because a lot of times, depending on the situation, a lot of black and brown athletes are kind of tip top in some of these things, and they're like, "Well, let's target them. Let's see." And you're like, "The fuck is this? Bitches do better. Just beat me then. The fuck you doing all this madness for?"
They went back all the way to her kindergarten records to see that she always registered as female.
Why? How can the
government's even spending money on this?
Right. Well, how is that even legal?
Like, y'all got teachers buying their own school supplies, but y'all take the time out to do an investigation. Is there nothing else going on in the office? Neither the student nor her parents were notified of the complaint that was filed against the kid.
Of course not, because they knew if they would have informed you, you'd have been like, "What the fuck are you doing?" and filed lawsuits and shit. Why are you doing this?
The reason it came up is because Spatafore disclosed the investigation when the Utah State Legislature was discussing ongoing lawsuits against the HB 11, a bill that banned transgender girls from participating in girls' interscholastic sports. The bill passed the state and House and Senate earlier this year in February and March, respectively. Spatafore said that his association has already received and investigated other complaints, including one that said a female athlete doesn't look feminine enough.
What the fuck does that mean?
Quite frankly, this is a new ground for us, Spatafore said to me. I'm not going to say we have it down pat because I have no clue. I don't think any of us in the office have a clue if we have it down pat. Then why the fuck is it a law?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like we have speeding down pat, right? This is how fast you can go. You're going faster than that. Then you get pulled over.
It's designed to be nebulous for a reason.
Yeah, this ain't black and white.
It's designed because it's up to vibes and how the fuck y'all feel for that particular day.
Police can't pull you over and go, "I felt like you was going fast." You know what I mean? It's crazy. This is crazy.
Right, and like I said, and what does that mean?
Yeah, who decides what body is feminine enough?
Right. So if I'm a female gendered woman. And let's say I happen to be more muscular. Now all of a sudden I'm being investigated because all of a sudden I don't fit those or I happen to be very fit. Like, there's a lot of characteristics in a woman, this all woman, that people would consider male traits, but she's like, I'm a female. Right. So like, and that's the thing. It's like you are crossing all these boundaries when it doesn't fucking make sense. So because you're trying to target this one group, you're punishing the whole group.
Yeah, that's how it always was going to go. It's one of the reasons these laws are stupid.
Right.
Joe Biden issues executive order to fight conversion therapy and LGBTQ fostering discrimination.
Good.
Yep. Signed an executive order. This was June 15th. So it's been in effect. He signed an executive order to fight conversion therapy worldwide. The executive order tells the Department of Health and Human Services to issue rules that ban the use of federal funds for programs that offer conversion therapy. HHS will also have to increase public awareness about the harms of conversion therapy. Major health and mental health organizations oppose conversion therapy, which describes a set of techniques that practitioners promise will turn gay and bi people straight and trans and non-binary people cis. Conversion therapy is, well, we talked about it on the show before. It's terrible. It's basically torture. And it's just they call it something else. But yeah, so shout out to having allies in the White House again. That's nice. Missed it the 4 years, you know, especially when you follow up 8 years of having allies in the White House with 4 years of having the people that absolutely do want conversion therapy.
It would actually be like this: if Trump was in office, he would fight for the people.
Right?
You be like, bitch, you on the opposite side. Like, what the fuck is this?
Let's see. LGBTQ kid gets back at homophobic mom by sharing her secret meatloaf recipe with the world.
Come on through. Everybody gonna know the recipe now.
That's good.
My wig is coming off. My wig is coming off. My wig's coming off.
That is pretty damn good.
You don't care? Guess what? I don't care either.
Yeah.
All the secrets is out.
Damn. That's how you get back. So yeah, that's a pretty good revenge. The team took to both Reddit and Tumblr to share the story of their family's meatloaf recipe. The teen explained the recipe was top secret, with their mom not sharing it until they were 19. The teen didn't mind keeping the secret. That changed when they came out to their mom after mom was homophobic and abusive at the news that her child was gay. The teen decided to share the meatloaf recipe with the world, now deemed revenge loaf. The recipe has taken the internet by storm.
Not revenge loaf.
Revenge loaf.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. 4 to 6 pounds of hamburger, turkey burger, 1 pack of onion soup mix or ranch mix, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of spicy brown mustard, 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce, 1 tablespoon of steak sauce, 1 egg. Mix, shape it to a loaf in a big pan, bake at 350 for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 if you're feeling dangerous.
Dangerous.
You can get almost all these ingredients at the dollar store and have leftovers if it's just you. The leftovers make great tacos. If taco season is also like $1, enjoy your revenge loaf. Wow. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. And you know they're gonna make you go, I made my revenge loaf. That's hilarious.
Let's see. No, Amanda Stenberg wasn't homophobic for DMing Leonard Wilson. Who are these people, Karen asked? I'll tell you.
Why people lose.
Well, Amanda Stenberg is a black woman.
Okay.
Amanda Stenberg and Lena Wilson have set film Twitter on fire. Wilson, a lesbian film critic who writes reviews for the New York Times, revealed that the Bodies star had direct messaged her privately on Instagram, criticizing her review of the film and saying, maybe if you had gotten your eyes off of my tits, you could have watched the movie. Because apparently in Lena's review, she said that it was like an 1.5-hour advertisement for Amanda's cleavage, which, you know, does seem kind of reductive, even if it's snarky and funny or whatever.
Right.
And so Amanda, the star of the movie, one of the stars, DM'd her, and, you know, some people said it sounded flirty to them. Some people said, you know, maybe she was rightfully mad about being objectified, blah, blah, blah. But whatever happened, Lena decided to take a screenshot, share it with the world, tell everybody, and then that's when all hell broke loose and it started going back and forth. Lena Wilson posted a screenshot of the DM along with the comments. Do you think she Instagram DM'd Allison Whitmore, Justin Chang, or Anthony Lane like this? Or always weird when the homophobia is coming from inside the house, but this is something. So Lena thinks it's homophobic for Amanda to point out that Lena wrote about her tits in the review, which I don't know how that would be homophobic.
So you wrote about
Or-
my tits in the review, and I was like, and the person responded back talking about their tits.
Yeah, so
Saying,
like,
you
why
brought the
don't
tits
you
up,
saying
so-
why don't you take your eyes off my tits and watch the movie? This review is about my titties, like, or maybe it could have been as a joke or whatever, but yeah, it just yeah, both Stenberg and Wilson have since clarified a comment on their actions, with Stenberg saying they thought that their DM to Wilson was funny and that she didn't mean it to be an attack. She pointed out that she's faced years of sexualization and objectification of her body while in Hollywood, and that her character wearing a tank top in the movie shouldn't have been a big deal. I thought it was hilarious. I thought because Lena is gay, I'm also gay. I thought as gay people, we both would find this comment funny. I was also curious to know what Lena would say to such a statement, but Lena decided to publish it and also says that I am homophobic for saying that. The intention of why I said that, and this is my experience as an actress, is quite surprising. The amount of commentary I receive on my boobs is so extreme that this happened since I was a teenager. I could literally be wearing a shirt because of the size of my boobs, there will be some sort of sexualization of commentary on my chest. In this movie, I am wearing a tank top, and I know that when I'm wearing a tank top, the result is that there's going to be some cleavage because I have boobs. So I knew that this comment was probably mostly directed towards me. I do get tired of people talking about my chest. It seems to me in Hollywood it's not normalized to have boobs that are above an A or B cup. I've actually noticed this in my time as an actress. There seems to be a lot of unwarranted conversation around my chest, and that just kind of baffles me. Wilson also explained on her decision to tweet the DMs, and I think she made a TikTok video or something. Hold on, I'm about to pull it up.
Hi, haven't been on here in a while. But I was just checking my Instagram DMs because a really lovely, kind person informed me via those DMs that Jennifer's Body is playing in 35mm at the Roxy this weekend. If you're in New York, you should absolutely go to that. There are a disgusting amount of tickets left. But I looked at my DM requests and found this, which I'm just going to let speak for itself for a little bit.
And that's a screenshot of the DM. And it looked like she's blocked her too, because it says unblock at the bottom. So she definitely took this as a
for context. If you haven't seen, I reviewed Bodies.
Yeah, it says your review was great. Maybe if you had gotten your eyes off my tits, you could have watched the movie. And she replied, "Hey man, legitimately a big fan of your work, but this is sure something. Really wishing you well in your career and life. Have a nice night." And then
for context, if you haven't seen, I reviewed Bodies for the New York Times and really didn't like it and said so. Ironically praised the acting, though. I don't want anything else to come of this. I am devastated to have received this message in the first place. I was a genuine, huge fan.
Also,
I don't believe that.
Right.
Why did you make it public? Yeah, motherfuckers kill me with this. They're like, I didn't expect nothing to happen. Well, you put it on the angry ass site. So
Yeah.
I do not understand this.
Yeah, I always think that's the throw the rock, hide my hand technique that people use. Like, if you don't want nothing to come of it, then tell your friends.
Right.
Send a text. But if you put it on social media, something's going to come of it. And then you can pretend that I didn't want this.
Of hers. But I'm posting it because I don't want this person who has more social power than me to think that it's fucking okay to do something like this. And that's all.
So she's the real victim in that. She also tweeted out, me spends one line of 500-word review facetiously commenting on how A24 objectifies young women to sell content. Random men on Twitter.com, and also apparently Amanda Stenberg, local dyke cannot stop talking about boobies. Imagine for a moment that a cis straight man had written the same review and had called the movie a 95-minute advertisement for cleavage. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe I'm missing it. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I really don't see her point on how people are only mad that you're a lesbian that said that. As people get mad about men objectifying women in these movie reviews and conversations all the goddamn time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of, I don't know. And then imagine that Stenberg sent the exact same DMs. If that were the case, Stenberg would be praised as a feminist hero for standing up to the man who objectified her and sexualized her. That's what I think would have happened. Yeah. I think if it would have been a man and Stenberg said that, people would have said, yeah, good for you. Like, this dude is talking about your titties instead of the movie. Fuck him. but somehow anyway, so yeah, this is it kind of became like a weird victim off, quote unquote, with the white woman being like, I'm a lesbian and y'all are attacking, and yet this woman is attacking me, and people being like, here you wrote a shitty review of her movie, and then also you know, she is also queer, so what,
right?
where is this coming from? It just seemed like you're rushing to be a victim and of this shit.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where people put things out there and people respond, and because she got a response that she wasn't expecting,
right?
You know, she was like, okay, well, then since she responded, I'm gonna make your response public.
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely, the thing I think of, and you know, not to make this too much about age and shit, but I really do feel like this like a young person's thing,
right? Because
like you run the social, like it's a young person's thing in that, like, one, it's probably like a young person's thing to even like DM that person in the first place. They didn't like your movie, fuck them,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, you know, the why even try to make nice and be friends? They already wrote it. It's in the New York Times. Everybody, you put something out, now everybody's gonna like it. So even reaching out to them to kind of either be friends or to cattily say something kind of snarky is kind of like a young person's game, you know. I think maybe I'm wrong about that part, but it's definitely a young person's game to go post the shit on TikTok and be like, I don't want anything to come of this, but look what she did, and I'm a victim here. And she, you know, it's like that person could be like, I'm a victim of you trashing my fucking movie, and you're like, and I'm a victim of you being upset by it. And to me, it's just like a victim off.
Yes, it is, and I really do think it's a generational thing. Because it's one of those things where, you know, am I fucked with? No, actually, zero. You know,
well, it's not fucking with black people, but yeah, it's just LGBTQ news. But yeah, I think it's just yeah, it just made me think. And honest to God, and obviously I don't know these people, but it really did. And I know people use it as a general cliche all the time. It really did feel like a situation where if they were sitting down at a coffee table and this conversation came up, it would have been totally different.
Yes.
Than in print, over the internet, then on a video, and then sharing it to people and blocking each other.
Right.
It's one of the reasons I think social media is just like it can be a bad place in a lot of ways, because I read her comment and I don't hate Amanda and I'm not scared or feeling attacked. So to me, I was like, okay, like it was a joke and like a coy way to be like, I thought the review was a little fucked up, but you was looking at my titties. Come on now. And and it's also like on a deeper level, it says something about white women's thoughts about what power and equality is. Because I really think in that white woman's mind, power and equality and fairness is being able to say what white men say and what dudes say and talk about women's bodies and cleavage and stuff whenever they do anything. You know, you can't, it's like they can't help themselves. It's like, oh, it's a movie review, her titties was swinging in the wind or whatever. And it's just like, damn, dog. Or, you know, anytime someone brings up an actress's work, I notice it when I listen to like other people's podcasts. If you bring up an actress's work, they immediately have to compliment how attractive she is or is not, or what, like as if them fucking her has anything to do with the quality of a movie. As if I'm gonna watch a movie because you said you thought she was cute. That has nothing to do with the movie. But that's how our brains work, and we've been enabled and we've been validated so much that we think that's valuable information, which, you know, politician we'd fuck or something like that, where it's just like, what does that have to do with anything?
Nothing at all. I don't give a fuck. Pass good laws.
But I think what white women, when they think of equality and fairness, it's this thing of like not bringing white men down to a point where it's like the things they do that we don't like, no one should do them. It's how do I get to a level where I can do what they do? And so it would make sense in my mind that, not knowing this woman, but that her brain was like, you're coming at me for something you wouldn't say to a white man. You know what I'm saying? Like it never went to her mind of like, you're coming at me because, hey, we are allied in certain experiences and in our community, and you're coming to me basically saying like, hey, don't be like these white men. Like, you know, like I wouldn't expect that from you, and instead you got this. But yeah, it was an interesting day on Twitter off of that.
Apparently so.
All right, let's move into other news. Here's the hero of the day. Apparently,
Okay.
a man ate a shish kebab in front of enraged animal rights activist.
Was it good?
It was in front
It
of.
made Peter mad.
There were animal rights activists.
Did it have some good dipping sauce?
Yeah, he had some hot mustard. There were animal rights activists in front of several stores in New York City. This man, who has not yet been identified, was filmed eating his shish kebab in front of the Nike store in New York City on Saturday, where animal rights groups were protesting the company's use of animal products.
Okay. I
Yeah.
kept eating too.
Welcome to
I guess he
He was like, bitch, you didn't pay for this meal?
I wonder if he went and got the food. You know, like, was it like that?
You are just a coward. You're a coward. You're a swine. You're embarrassing.
Oh, he outside talking with him eating.
You're gonna die on your own.
He was digging into it too. Like it would look delicious. It's a great ad for shish kebabs.
Yes.
You're embarrassing. What am I gonna do? Nothing. You're gonna die on your own.
Oh, it feels good. You and your small dick and your way.
These people are insane.
He has a small dick now because he's eating shish kebabs in front of animal rights activists.
And if you notice something, there's a lot of white people
White
out there
people
just
know.
protesting because they are not at work. They have nothing else to do but stand in front of a fucking restaurant and complain about the animals that the people in the restaurant are eating.
And it feels good. You have all the blood on your face and all the blood on your hair.
He licked it. No.
Yes.
No, he did
Yes!
not lick it in front
Eat
of
it
them.
up. Fuck them.
Oh my God.
It feels good. And your small dick.
Maybe this is his kink.
Yes.
He's like, you know what really turns me on? Getting yelled at by angry vegan white women.
I spent my money.
That's when you're gonna die. He's like, oh God, yes, tell me I'm gonna die. Oh man, that is hilarious.
Yes, it is. That one get a 0 too.
Animal rights activists.
I am not fucked with because I'd have kept eating my food too. You ain't pay for it.
They fired the Uvalde police chief Pete Arredondo 3 months after that mass shooting. They wanted to fire him earlier, but they just waited outside in the hallway for a long time. Then they went in there. They went in the office.
They was like, okay,
They
coast is clear.
They actually planned to fire him yesterday, but he just stood around drinking Red Bulls and getting hand sanitizer in the hallway, and then they could finally fire him. But yeah, I mean, you knew it was gonna happen. The fact that they even tried to pretend that this was a law, it's like everything with law enforcement. When someone fucks up, they just try to wait it out, and then they do the quote unquote right thing or the thing they have to do. But it feels like they want to go, you didn't make us do it. You know, like they always like, oh, they shot that black guy. Well, we're gonna fight tooth and nail. We got this officer's back. Okay, the trial, he got acquitted. Hey man, you fired. You gotta get the fuck out of here. You crazy? You can't go back to the community. What's wrong with you? 13 people were hurt on El Toro roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure after the ride hit a pothole on the track.
How is there a pothole on the track?
Yeah.
And nobody see it, and nobody knows the pothole is there.
Yeah,
Bitch.
I didn't even know it was possible for tracks to have potholes. Are these even on the road? Like what? Like potholes are happening on highways and black people communities.
Right. Somebody get ready to own that place.
Adventure that left more than a dozen people hurt.
The incident happened last night at the amusement park in New Jersey as the El Toro roller coaster was completing its run through the course. CBS 2's Elijah Westbrook.
El Toro, that means bull. These fucking bulls, man. You got the flaming bull with the balls.
And they lit his
Now you
balls
got
on
the-
fire.
Stay off the bulls this summer.
Leave the bulls alone. The bulls is on a wrecking path.
Folks spoke exclusively with a park employee who's familiar with the ride's operations.
That's where I was riding very, very rough to like with the beginning of the day.
A park employee with the Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey spoke with me exclusively today about what happened. They asked us to disguise their voice and keep their identity anonymous out of fear of losing their job. However, they tell me this mammoth of a wooden roller coaster hit what they're calling a pothole, a term used to describe a slight separation between the track and wooden structure.
Oh, so this is like Thunder Road down at Carowinds before they tore that bitch down. So it's because now they make them out of metal. Because a lot of these old wood roller coasters they getting rid of, and they're putting like metal and shit up because them things actually require a lot of fucking maintenance. It's made out of wood.
I'm mad they had to disguise their voice. Like, we're gonna fire you for saying what happened.
Yeah, because they know it's a fucking lawsuit coming.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably wasn't the mask. It's probably Mickey Mouse.
Really, no, it was most.
Actually, this ain't Disney, so Six Flags. I don't know who owned them.
Mr. Flags. I don't know.
Actually, a pothole towards like the end of it before the last turn. That was the main area where the injuries were that happened.
According to Six Flags, 13 people were treated for minor back injuries at the park, 5 of whom were taken to a local medical facility for further evaluation. And
who decides what's minor? Because that shit don't sound minor to me. That shit sound like it hurt.
Something happened. I'm going to the hospital. Don't care. Going to the hospital.
12 people were taken for minor back injuries. 5 to the hospital. Okay, who decided that mine is minor? I mean, your back it's not all the way broke.
Treatment. The ride opened in 2006 as the park's major new wooden prefabricated roller coaster, reaching a height of 176 feet, dropping you at an incline of 76 degrees and speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. With stats this incredible, it requires a maintenance team to check its every move.
From what I know, maintenance has known about it and they have tried fixing it, but for how it is, it just keeps happening. The employees keep telling them that there is an issue with the pothole. Maintenance has done nothing about it.
El Toro was
somebody lost it. Oh, somebody lawyer is fitting the somebody about to come up.
And they probably doing this just so the people can get the money too, because that's no other reason for the employee to speak out.
Yeah, or just for safety. I mean, you could be a good person,
right?
Someone could have died.
Right. And like you say, for these wooden roller coasters, they have to check that shit. They got to be sure that wood isn't rotten. Like, it's a lot that goes behind it. And there's probably a lot of maintenance. That's why a lot of newer roller coasters, they're not made out of that bullshit. They made out of metal and shit that won't rust and things like that.
Let's take it to church. A pastor has apologized after a video of him calling his congregation poor, broke, ugly, and disgusted for not buying him a luxury Movado watch caused outrage on social media. All right.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted.
Okay, all right. Let me get this on screen so y'all can see it too. Right now he kind of spitting though. Let me see.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money.
Who are the people that are calling response in Jesus when he say that?
Somebody is.
That's the most ungodly shit I've ever heard somebody say in the pulpit. And you up here like, Jesus, yes, we broke, Jesus. We ain't shit. We ain't shit, Lord. Tell it.
Them probably all the people that gave.
Right. Tell the truth.
Shame the devil.
Your St. John Nick. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it's not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. See, that's how.
Wow, this is like a parody of itself.
Woo!
This,
you sure David Allen Greer ain't up on stage?
Right. This
like this sound like a skit he would do.
I mean, look, if I want somebody to fuss at me for not supporting them enough, I'll just listen to JL Covan, okay?
Right? He's good at it all by himself.
Okay, at least I'm gonna get some laughs and a good product
and some jokes.
Okay, but this is crazy. Seriously, this motherfucker is yelling at it. I guess this is why I just like religion is so scary to me, because like, what made the people think it was okay for him to talk to them like that?
Right.
You know, I know he apologized, but it's like, why did you ever think the amount of ego and the fact that is so delusionally not about anything in the book? It's just, I would like a watch. What the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? I don't have a watch yet. Are you fucking serious?
Right. That's exactly what he said.
Do you even believe in God, you broke bitch? Like what? I'll guarantee you that's not written down in the scripture. That's not part of his sermon he wrote down. Like he was sitting. That means he was sitting in that pastor's office, mad as hell, writing that sermon.
I don't think he wrote that. That was some ad-lib.
I think he must have just watched like another pastor, like Creflo Dollar, somebody that had something nicer than him, and for inspiration, he went out there and was like, "What's wrong with y'all?
I didn't ask for a jet."
I'm seeing people in limos and shit. So yeah, he says, though there is context behind the content of the clip, no context will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words.
It don't matter.
What could the context be?
It don't matter what the context is.
This is how a terrible pastor sounds. Is that the context? He's like, and they didn't put that part on the video. He's like, hey, can y'all imagine if I was such a shitty prosperity preacher that I started saying stuff like, y'all broke, huh? They sell Movado in Sam's. Like, what? I've spoken to those I'm accountable to and have received their correction and instruction. Who? I need names. I've spoken, they go by me, myself, and I. Okay. I looked in the mirror. I said, self. Now, you know you was wrong for that. And I think we can move on. I've also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me. My bad, y'all. All right, let's get started. How come I ain't got a Mercedes? Okay, I see some of y'all pulling up with Mercedes. I can't drive it. Oh, man. It's poor, broke, busted, and disgusted. Prosperity preaching, man. It'll be the end of everything. Speaking of people out here believing in bullshit, let's do some fucking with black people.
Okay.
All right. Go to the old school. Felt 5 fucking with black people. Wait, have I played this one lately?
25, 50, 75, 100. How much is you fucked with? How much is you fucked with?
Death by 1,000 cuts, microaggressions, gaslighting, dog whistles, manic depression. Work twice as hard no matter how high the bar is. I give it 100, now fuck it, Dracarys.
25, 50, 75, 100. How much is you fucked with? How much is you fucked with?
Oh yeah, been a while since we played that one. I missed that. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Drew Barrymore is canceled for being racist.
Talking about Drew Barrymore with the show. She don't bother nobody.
She don't bother nobody, Karen.
That white woman minds her business.
But apparently she bothered somebody on TikTok, and now it's time to get her canceled, Karen. I hope you're ready to give out that your cards. So I don't know, as a little background, if you heard about frolicking on TikTok.
Okay.
It was a trend where the way I saw it, I don't know who did it first, but I saw it first from like black dudes running around in like fields and shit with holding their phone up, laughing and and rubbing their hands to their hair stuff.
Okay.
And
some shit kids do.
Yeah, it was funny. We definitely didn't invent frolicking.
Shit
Okay.
been around forever. Probably.
Pretty sure, you know, the fucking hobbits did that.
People do that shit all the time. They just didn't film it.
So anyway, Drew Barrymore frolicked in the rain.
You and I both know that you are capable of enjoying the rain and frolicking freely without filming it and then posting it to TikTok. Now, you've just co-signed, okay? You just co-signed at least 3 million, 8.5 by 11 front and back, people who just go out of their way to disrespect and dismiss the boundaries that Black creators have set. And now you're one of those people. So I guess my question would be, why? Why is it so important to all of you to treat us like we don't matter?
Now I know that sister is woke because her AirPods was black. Okay, I didn't even know you could get black AirPods. Like she's so pro-black. She don't fuck with white AirPods. Okay, so Kara, clearly you understand exactly what happened there. How mad are you at Drew? Jakar, should I just move on to the next one?
It's a zero. I don't.
A zero?
Yes, I don't.
Karen, this white woman is. You know
No.
what? I know what it is. You need to just have it explained to you again.
No, I
So
don't.
she did explain it in another video later. Let's listen to this one first.
Explain shit to me.
Why is it an issue for me to stand firm in what I believe? Male Black creators frolicked in the grass. Female Black creators started frolicking in the rain. Okay. Oh, poor Drew had a hard childhood, says the white woman to the Black woman in America. I'm not picking. Nobody is picking on her. I pointed out the obvious. But what y'all really are not catching is the reactions. Like, okay, say that was a complete and total stretch, right? Y'all still went out of your way to demean me, put me down, call me out my name, dismiss my opinion on my own TikTok, but defend Drew and her hard childhood, because she's the only one who ever had a hard childhood. She's the only one who's ever tried to get her inner child, like, out and have fun. That's the thing. I simply stated she was frolicking in the rain, which meant she opened the floodgates for people who go out of their way to disrespect Black creators. But y'all didn't hear that. Y'all just heard, oh my gosh, she's calling us racist. His name is a racist. You, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. So, Lord.
They didn't hear that because one, you didn't say that in the first video, but okay.
Just, I need caffeine. I've not had enough caffeine for this. So, that being said, and I am really not screaming at you, but this is ridiculous. Y'all are.
We are the people that saw it and disagreed. They're the ones being ridiculous. So just keep in mind.
So reactionary. You're so
reactionary. She was reacting to Drew to Drew Barrymore. 5-second video. We're reactionary. I don't know why we gotta. What's wrong with us, y'all?
ready to react. Nobody listens to respond. I said what I said. Thank you. Have a great day.
People did respond and you didn't like the response, and then it turned into this. All right, Karen, now that you have had it explained to you, okay, go ahead. What was zero? We can move on. Okay, it's zero for you. Okay, wow.
It's a zero. But it's 100 for her though. 0 for Drew, 100 for her, because this right here and all the side is the same thing with that therapist, where you're going online, you're talking, and you're just saying shit, and the internet does what the internet does, and you don't expect it to respond the way it does. It's not giving you the accolades that you thought it was going to do, and everything ain't racist. Sorry, Negroes. Everything that happens ain't always placed in racism.
Sorry, Negroes.
I'm sorry. There are shit that's racist that does happen to us.
I know, it's just hilarious the way you said it, Karen. You're very funny.
No. But I would respond to that. But it just irritates me when people act like if it happens, it's racism, and you're like, no, it's not racism. We didn't create frolicking.
Right. I personally, I don't feel fucked with by Drew either. I feel like they're really trying to stretch the shit with the Drew Barrymore thing. And I think it's the hunt for content. It definitely reminds me of that therapist where you need so much content that you end up doing shit like this where it's like, oh, Drew Barrymore did what? And it's just like, you never even stop to think like, am I the one being ridiculous right now? The whole I'm trying to start a conversation thing, but you're literally shutting down everybody that disagree with you is very funny. The comments that she did choose to show, it wasn't her being called out of her name or whatever. It was two reasonable questions, which is like, how is this racist? And why are you basically like, you don't see how this is a stretch? But yeah, I think that's the other thing is the echo chamber of turning that phone to point at your face and give your opinion. You become God in that moment, and everything you do is for the people, and you're right, and everyone who disagrees is wrong, and you can never back down. You can never say, you know what, I can see how y'all see it that way. It's just fuck that,
Right. And this right here is one of the reasons, and say what you want to, call me a coon or whatever, but this is one reason why, particularly particularly the online campaigns where support Black women regardless of what they do, I don't go with that bullshit. No, believe Black women. I don't know. No, sometimes we wrong. Sometimes bitches be wrong. And regardless of the color of skin, we be motherfucking wrong. And I don't have to support your wrongness. I don't have to defend your wrongness. I don't have to go for back for your wrongness. Bitch, you're wrong. And just because we are both female does not mean I have to stand up and look like a motherfucking fool just because you said something stupid. Stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah, and the whole thing about the boundaries of Black creativity on TikTok is such a weird illusion anyway. Like from jump, everyone knew that this platform is about spreading things and going viral. This idea that you're going to do something and everyone in the world is going to cooperate by the rules that you just somehow invented in your head and didn't even explain to people is insanity on steroids, and you should get the fuck off the platform if you truly do believe that. My guess is you don't truly believe that. You want to make content out of the fact that people are going to do that stuff. There's no copyright. There's no patent on frolicking. Even the whole idea that she said Black dudes started it as frolicking and then Black women started frolicking in the rain. Where was the boundary? Was a Black dude supposed to make a video like, and now you open up the floodgate to women? See, when Black men were frolicking in the fields, that was fine. But when Black women started frolicking in the rain, you are now hurting us and appropriating. Like the culture is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, in my opinion. Culture, for the most part, is meant to be shared.
Right.
And unfortunately, because of the messiness of humanity is not bordered. It is not black and white. It is not simplified in most cases. If you share culture, it will eventually spread to everything and everybody. And a lot of times the people who initiated this wanted it shared. Like, the first person to fucking come up with a henna tattoo wanted someone else to get a henna tattoo. It wasn't like they were like, and just me, that's it. Everybody calm the fuck down. Like it's gonna spread, and as you love other people, as you get to know other people, as you become friends with other people, that it will spread to them as well. And some of them people will misunderstand it, some won't. Some will just think it looks cool because they don't know everything, and that's fine too. It's just that is inevitable. Being angry and going after people about it seems to be the weird stretch to me.
Right, and making connections that are not there and things like that. And it could be very, very frustrating a lot of times. And I think some people get so wrapped up in their own world, particularly online, that they don't realize the insanity that they spew out. They actually do not realize how they sound to other people. They don't realize, because I'm pointing something out does not mean that other people are always wrong. Yeah, sometimes they can be wrong. Don't get me, that's not always true statement. Sometimes people are wrong, but it's you. So because it's you have to defend it.
Yeah, I thought she was way out of pocket over there.
Me too.
But look, that's what TikTok is, though. It's, for a lot of people, it's a lot of grievance shit. It's a lot of looking at the phone and telling everybody some shit that, trying to go viral with a take that hopefully other people don't have, or go viral off a take that so many people have that people will share your shit too. Euphoria star Sydney Sweeney, 24, is forced to deny absurd claim that her mom's 60th hoedown birthday party in Spokane, Washington was a political statement after woke mob accuses her of being right-wing for wearing Blue Lives Matter shirt and MAGA style caps. She didn't wear it. Her people in her family did.
Okay.
So she is a star, one of the stars of Euphoria, which is the high school Zendaya. Yeah, the high school drama on HBO. That's the one that's like, oh, it's so real, guys. They fuck on here and do drugs. There's never been a show like this, and people love it, And she kind of became to prominence because she got some big titties and she's always taking them out. And so a lot of these people want to fuck her. And so then they had to work backwards into she's a good person that has the same politics as me. And now I've set myself up to be very upset if she doesn't operate her entire life based on my fucking erection or my
nothing. And at no period of time did she ask and or demand this. You did this on your own.
Yeah, they decided that she has to operate her life on whatever their Twitter fucking moral compass is. And so, of course, the fact that a white girl from America who went to her family event where her whole family was there would have any members of her family that voted for Trump, believe Blue Lives Matter, were conservative or whatever the fuck. Obviously, this is a huge racial insult to all of us, and she owes it to us to explain it and apologize for the hurt feelings that we have as her real family, because we watched the TV show. We become her real family and replace them, and she needs to obviously cut her family off, or at least disown her family, admonish her family, give a public statement about how she don't really fuck with her family, even if it's a lie. She needs to say that to us because she owes it to us, because she was in a TV show that you niggas jacked off to. So that's got to happen. That's my reading on it. But yeah, she slammed the absurd claims that her family's regarding her family's political ties when fans accused the actress of being right wing after she posted photos of her mother's recent hoedown inspired 60th birthday party. Yeah, there were red hats there that said "Make 60s Great Again" or something like that, or to say like make 60 great again because it's her mom's 60th birthday party.
Okay.
And she said, "You guys, this is wild. An innocent celebration from her mom's milestone 60th birthday has turned into an absurd political statement, which was not the intention. Please stop making assumptions. Much love to everyone. Heart and happy birthday, Mom." And of course, before they zoomed in on the hats or saw the pictures, there were a lot of people that went ahead and said, like, these MAGA parody hats are MAGA. They didn't know because it was hard to see it in the video. It's kind of fast. It's like, look, it's all the way in the background. It's like, oh, this means you secretly MAGA. And but those particular hats weren't. That being said, she has a brother, younger brother Trent, who shared a photo of himself posing with two hat wearing guests on the Instagram account that said "Make 60 Great Again." So that's how people were like, oh, see, look, but it's not a MAGA hat. It's a "Make 60 Great Again." Now you could be mad about the parody hats, but I don't really get mad about those red parody hats because it's like getting mad at Jelko Van for having a red parody hat when he does his Trump impression or something. I wouldn't rock one. They whack to me, but I also understand that you wearing a parody hat doesn't necessarily mean you die because I love Trump. Like, the parody means you're normally making fun of whatever it is. Anyway, she says, "You guys, this is wild. The end of the celebration." Oh yeah, I already said this part. Yeah. So then, in the background of one picture, you can even see. Yeah, you see this white dude with the hat.
Mm-hmm.
He got on a Blue Lives Matter flag on the front of his hat, on the front of his shirt. I don't know if you can see that.
What, you circling around?
Yeah, it's a blue line. It's the flag turned sideways, and there's a blue stripe, going down it.
Okay, listen, you know more than me. I didn't know they had a flag.
Blue Lives Matter?
I didn't know it was a flag.
I know. I'm still as shocked that you don't know that.
Oh,
that's a big thing. That's the whole point of Blue Lives Matter, is that it's a American flag that's in black and white with a blue stripe going down it. Yeah, I remember James Harden had one and wore it to a basketball game and didn't even know that it was Blue Lives Matter.
I can see that,
because he just thought it looked cool. and
not know.
Everybody had to tell him. I was like, man, James Harden really messed up, because I would have been like, yeah, I wore it on purpose because I'm about to kill all these niggas on the court tonight. And they would be like, canceled. James Harden lose a shoe deal. Like, it would have been terrible. But yeah, so I think people just follow her to mostly see the cleavage, and she had the cleavage out. She could not have known that people was gonna get so upset about these fucking hats and all this shit.
Right.
And so you got, now because of stan culture, you got people that want to defend her on social media that probably only defending her because it's like some type of devotion to social media. And then you got people attacking her out of some weird jealousy or this misplaced parasocial relationship where like she owes us her entire fucking being and she can't even be family members with these motherfuckers and shit. Like,
and not.
And I this always weirds me out because I'm like, the audacity of some of these motherfuckers on social media and the ownership they feel over these celebrities is crazy to me.
It's weird.
I don't believe that y'all don't have family members that you're like, yeah, that motherfucker has some beliefs I don't get down with. I'll see them at Thanksgiving, but I'm damn sure not about to go on Twitter and like put my uncle on blast for some strangers. I don't like that. Has nothing to do with y'all. Mind your business then, That was, I don't know, that feels crazy to me. I know in the hive mind of social media, it sounds reasonable to be like, this celebrity need to disown their family. But if you don't understand how that's crazy, we just shouldn't be friends.
Ain't that the truth?
It's like, I still got, you go to Thanksgiving, you got aunts and uncles that make like inappropriate jokes or some shit that, it's like, oh, Tony Romo and the Cowgirls or some shit. And you just like roll your eyes a little bit and you just keep eating the gravy and you move the fuck on.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not going on TikTok to tell everyone. I'm not like, like, oh my God. Like there's black people in my family that voted Republican. They still my aunt. They still my uncle. I can't do shit about that. Like that is crazy. You seen these people for less than a second in a video on her Instagram was like, change your whole fucking life. So yeah, it was just,
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I thought that was just so weird to me. Anyway, I was not fucked with by this. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was a 0 for me when I seen it.
I don't even watch Euphoria, but see you next season, baby.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever imagine a group of 50-something white people coming together for anything, and none of them are fucking conservative.
Right, 0.
Yeah. I think that's such a that does tell you a lot about the bubbles we live in on social media, that you could even expect that as a result in real life of this girl goes to her mom's 60th birthday party and everybody there's gonna be Team Biden or ashamed and secretly conservative. And this also kind of gives me the Chris Pratt feeling of building somebody up that is a white person. And then once they kind of quote unquote make it, it's this impetus of jealousy and shit. Like, we got to tear them back down and we got to tear them down. And listen, they might be conservative. We don't know, but it's close enough. It's close enough. Now she can never do anything right again.
Nothing right.
Yeah. Now it's every rumor is true. Everything is so. I think that's just weird.
I do too. It's very weird and very strange.
But yeah. So 0 to 100.
Oh, zero. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is some white people news too.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's move into something a little more fun. Let's do some guess the race.
Okay.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Oh, shuck it, duck it, quack, quack. It is guess the race time. The game we go all around the globe, find different articles, and guess the race of the people involved. Karen plays along, and of course, she is racist. And the chat room plays, and guess what, y'all? You ain't gonna believe this. Also racist. I know. I didn't see it coming either. But yeah, they racist, and let's get into the game. How about let's go with this one first. A woman attacks her neighbor over her clothing choices.
Okay.
A woman was arrested for yelling at another woman about her fashion and even making threats to beat up the woman's kids.
What the kids got to do with her fashion? What they dressed alike?
Oh, somebody's upset about the high fashions out here. Okay, they're like, acid wash jeans coming back? Not on my watch. You and your kids.
Them distressed jeans stressing me out.
You and your kids can both get it. Okay. On August 10th, the Memphis Police Department responded to the scene. A caller told police that while she was in her yard with her kids, a neighbor later identified as LaDonna Bassett approached and began yelling at her about the woman's clothing choices. Bassett walked over to her because her boyfriend kept looking at the woman. Oh, here we go. The boyfriend kept looking at the woman. Okay, I think we're starting to see what this is really about.
That ain't got nothing to do with the woman.
She blaming, she got it. Oh, look at you. Bassett also threatened to beat the woman and her kids up. That's how concerned she was for the way that this woman was affecting the neighborhood, being of low class and low morale. She was like, look at this. You about to you are messing things up for the children around here. You're a bad example. That's why I need to beat you and your children up. I mean, it makes sense to me. Karen, you looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay.
Yeah, no, it don't make sense.
You ain't never wanted to beat a woman and her children up for the clothes that she wore?
No, I let that woman live her life.
Okay, wow. So I'm just supposed to believe that.
Yep. Happen every day.
Okay. When the kids went inside, Bassett charged through the front door, grabbing an iPhone and ran out the house with it. Now, what that got to do with anything?
She charged through the front door.
After a brief foot chase, the phone was recovered and the woman used it to call the police. Oh, maybe to stop her from calling the police.
Because she's probably yelling and fussing. So she's like, I'm going to call the police. So she ran in there to take a phone.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And now you're trespassing. The fuck you doing in my house?
Come on. So then LaDonna Bassett was arrested and charged with aggravated burglary, theft of property less than $1,000. She has a court date September 8th. All right. Karen, guess the race of LaDonna Bassett.
Black.
Okay, Karen's going with black for this one. Let's see what the chat room has to sayeth. I have no idea what color this black lady is. Angela would be ashamed. Black. For my man, black. A no count Negro dating. Fuck them kids, dick. Make her slap somebody. Future precious mom, black. Damn, black. You about to catch a fade in them acid wash jeans, black. I'ma go black. Flat back Becky White. The correct answer is black. One person did say white. And that's her, Karen. Yeah.
She did it, and she probably do it again.
You know, I mean, I just think she beat that woman up because she couldn't beat her. Oh, she threatened to beat that woman up because she couldn't beat her man.
Them sound like some issues between them. Some cheating, like something happening inside the household, and instead of addressing the issue, you took it out on that woman. That ain't got nothing to do with that woman.
Right. That's how I came across the meme. Like, okay, so since you can't do shit to him, all of a sudden it's gotta be it's your fault, bitch. Like, wait, what?
Right. I didn't do nothing to him or with them. How's it my fault?
Right. So let's go to the next one. Florida. Oh, we love stories from Florida, don't we? Everybody. It's everybody's favorite location. Florida newlywed, 34 years old, is arrested for trying to solicit a prostitute on his honeymoon as his wife slept.
What?
Mm-hmm. You know how sometimes you got to do. Listen, Karen, I think we've all been there.
So I'm sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
This is less than 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you know what? Let me go get a prostitute. I think he was doing this before we were married.
Karen, I mean, listen, that's one way to look at it. Okay. But I think
you just don't know what a hose is. You got to do some investigation. Hoes don't have no homeme.com for you to be like, here's the hose at. You got to know where they at.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong, but you know, it could just be that this is the first time that he made a mistake like this. You know, he's like, oh, I had never thought to mess with these hoes before, but now I'm messing with these hoes. You know, like why do you assume that
you put like this? You know where they're at. I remember me and you. I think it was me and you going down Fort.
Wait, it could be you and somebody else. Hold on now.
It was me and you.
Okay.
We was going down Fort Bragg, and all of a sudden a lady crossed in front of us with some fish nets. All she had was like fish nets.
Black penny hoes.
Yes, and she was running full fledged. I was like, what the fuck is happening? He knows where the hose is.
Okay. All right. So Karen is saying it's impossible to just stumble into some hoes. Okay. I'm not sure.
Just like you don't just slip and slide in the pussy. No, that don't happen. It just don't magically appear. You put some effort into that, my nigga.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Karen's opinion, everybody. Okay. I'm not, but so the Florida man was arrested. He answered an advertisement for a prostitute only to arrive at a hotel and find a detective waiting on him instead. That's some bad luck right there.
Ain't it though? You're under arrest.
Right. He was like, ooh, about to have sex with some prostitutes. Uh-oh. You got to write the man solid. Oh, damn. He walk in, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no! The police is here. And he was like, oh no, am I getting arrested?
Paul
Tarovsky, 34 years old, businessman, who local media said is based in Fort Myers, was in Tampa on his honeymoon after his July 15th wedding. His new bride fell asleep, so he went online to search for a prostitute, as one does. Okay, everybody know that. So whichever one falls asleep first, the other spouse gets online and looks for a prostitute.
Nope.
Are we really gonna pretend like this is a shock?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. Well, Karen's. I guess Karen's better than the rest of us. Everybody.
I guess I'm special.
She's the one person that ain't looking up prostitutes soon as people fall asleep over here.
I do not go on dickschooseme.com. That is not the website I go on. I'm good.
Unaware to him, Hillsborough County sheriffs were conducting a sting operation to clamp down on human trafficking, sex with minors, and prostitution. He tried to solicit an adult prostitute, so he's not a complete creep. He
was like, is you over 18?
Listen, this ain't no Karl Malone. When he arrived at the hotel in Tampa, he was put in handcuffs. The date of his arrest hasn't been disclosed, but it came during a months-long operation. Cops say snares multiple Johns. Chad Chronister, Hillsborough County Sheriff, said the only question here was, as a wedding guest, was it too late to get the gifts that they had gave returned back? Sheriff
Y'all ain't even unpacked them.
Sheriff got jokes. It's unclear whether he remains married He was one of 176 men arrested in the sting.
Oh,
good grief. That's a lot of men.
Ooh, that was going through, boy.
All right, Karen, guess the race.
What was his name again?
His name is Paul Tarofsky.
White.
Karen's going white. Black, you got to know where the hoes at, says Psycho Music. I really didn't know men were into hoes like that, says Cypher, which is not a great guess of the race, but somebody keeping hoes in business.
For real. It ain't the oldest profession for no reason.
Come on. White and horny. The ink is not even dried on the license, dude. White surprised it wasn't kids. Last name ends in ski, so I gotta go with those white powdered slopes. White and dirty. White. The correct answer is white. One person did say black. Well, you know what's funny is some people get married and the whole point is like to have sex, you know, and so he was promised sex if he married this woman, and then she fell asleep, and he was like, "Where's my promised sex? I have to go procure it myself."
Now I got to go pay for it.
Yeah, I also like the song called "White and Dirty." They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling, trying to catch me white and dirty. All right, let's get to the bonus round. Karen is rare 2 for 2.
Woohoo! That was why I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get the
gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey, big baboon, big dive, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
It was getting a little rowdy at a Texas Wendy's restaurant. A customer grew extremely frustrated after he received the wrong order at a drive-thru.
Okay.
Christian Ellis, 19, opened fire at a Wendy's restaurant in Frisco, Texas.
Oh, was the chili that bad? Goddamn.
After receiving the wrong order in the drive-thru line, he marched into the restaurant and argued with employees. He then fired
for the strawberry and they gave you a chocolate frosty.
He then fired. I mean, that's worth shooting somebody. He then fired off several shots, thankfully not injuring anyone. However, he was arrested 2 days later and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In addition, 2 people in the car witnessing the shooting have been charged with reported felony. Tyrann McLeod and Shakita Glaspie have reportedly been arrested. Fast food restaurants have been the latest hit for violence in Arizona. Wendy's is not the one, and then Taco Bell. Okay, who gets
so the people that was riding with him ended up catching the case because they didn't call the police.
Yep.
Well, bitch, I'm calling the police on you. I'm sorry. I might not tell you your face. Just take me home. But as soon as I get my black ass and do 911, yes, this nigga shot the Wendy's up on South Boulevard. I want you to know, put it on record. It is Saturday, 7:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I don't want no charges.
Man, why are you yelling at us? We're just the police, so you don't have to yell at us. It's just 911.
I want you to know because I don't want them come back talking about I didn't report no police report.
I hope they're not outside because they definitely heard you snitching.
Yes, they did.
You done told everybody.
No, nigga. No, I'm not going to jail for you because I happen to be in the car because you decided to be stupid.
All right, Karen, guess the race.
Oh, black.
Karen's going black. Let's check the chat room and see what they believe the race was. He was just trying to get that hot, bring that heat, make it hot and spicy. Let me get a number 6, extra bullets. Hit them up, type blacks, says Trey. They got arrested for this in Texapocalypse. Negroes feeling too white. Niggas shot up Popeyes. I'm going white. Oh, niggas shoot up Popeyes. I'm going white. That's a good point. Non-stop Negroness, says Double Bitch. The correct answer is... Oh, wait. Shooting people over Wendy's black. Black for black. The correct answer is black.
going black because they ended up charging the 2 other people in the car.
Yeah, that's the part that felt black.
They didn't have nothing to do. Like, how the fuck am I going to jail? How did I know this niggas was gonna do this?
I don't think anybody said white. So yeah, they were black.
Right, charging me.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
I want to choke the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Let's do another one.
Okay.
I'm having a good time. Woman shoots at family members after argument while shopping. An argument while a family shop turned into gunfire, according to Memphis Police Department. 36-year-old Clemessa Armstrong was out shopping with her family members when Armstrong became angry and demanded to be taken home. Oh, as an introvert, girl, I know the struggle. Like, are y'all gonna try on every pair of shoes? God damn.
Right. This is why I go do these activities by myself.
She was dropped off by a family member at the Pepper Tree Apartments and got out the car, but continued to argue. Eventually, Armstrong put out a handgun out of her purse and fired a shot at the car with 2 adults and 2 children inside.
Oh, she had enough of them.
She was arrested and charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault. Karen, guess the race.
Black. She had enough of them. I've been with y'all niggas all goddamn day. I've had enough of y'all.
Karen says, black. Stop reading that story. That name is darkness. Black. Like a lot of black. Memphis is automatically black. Hillbilly hollering white, says Cypher. Black as hell, says Shay. The correct answer is black. Which means Cypher got it wrong.
Yeah. Looking at that mug shot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
surprised she could see him.
Yeah,
it was a 50-50 chance she'd hit him with that eyesight.
Maybe that's why she missed.
You know what? Right.
Yeah, you say you surprised she could see him. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised she missed. She couldn't see him. Shooting at children in the car too. Maybe that's how she got punched in the face. I don't know. But all right, y'all, let's get to the last thing. It's sword ratchetness time.
And you know what that also means? She had that gun with her the whole time.
Yeah. Up in the stuff. Shout out to Memphis. All right, let's get to the sword ratchetness story. Sword horror. Sword wielding woman slashes shoppers in shocking random attack in Germantown as huge blade pictured. Shocking pictures from the scene show a huge weapon lying on the cobblestones of the town square in Wieden, Bavaria. Following the horror attack, the enormous blade was laying on the ground after the attack. I can show you a picture of it. They got a bad angle to show how big it was, but
they got a brick on the end of it.
Right? Like, what happened? Police officers were scrambling to the Germantown just before noon local time. Several shoppers are being treated for stabbing injuries. At least 3 people have been injured. German media reports, with 2 of them rushed to nearby hospitals for their injuries. The attack happened at the Untermarkt Square in Wieden, picturesque town center. It's sad to know that sword ratchetness has spread all across the globe, and now even Appia is dealing with it.
Right. You be safe out there, baby.
German news website Bild reported that the attacker was a middle-aged woman armed with a sword-like object. No further information has been given about the woman's motives behind the attack. In a statement, the Upper Palatine police said there is currently a police operation on the Lower Market. A woman had injured several people and was arrested. At least they took her into custody alive, I guess. They ain't got no guns, or maybe they just, well, you know what? I'm thinking about our trigger happy ass cops. They would have shot her. Police are informed that she was said to have injured several people at the market. For this reason, a larger police operation is currently underway, and the quickly arriving forces of the police were able to arrest the woman. Several injured people are currently being treated in the ambulance service. There is currently no danger to the population, said the police. Whew, Lord, it's everywhere, y'all.
Everywhere.
Can't even go on the cobblestones without motherfuckers trying to take it back to the Game of Thrones era.
Right.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, that's tonight. You know, can't wait to get on Twitter and live tweet it.
And recap Thursday. Wednesday.
Recap it on Wednesday. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll be back soon. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everyone. It was nice. It was fun.